Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch a high-throughput COVID-19 testing facility in Kolkata, Mumbai and Noida today. These facilities will be able to test over 10,000 samples per day. '82nd CRPF Raising Day is being celebrated today. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to pay tribute to the martyrs of the force, also to address the CRPF personnel posted across the country virtually. Political heat continued to rise in Rajasthan. BSP issues whip to the MLAs to vote against the Congress in-floor test. Supreme Court to hear the Speaker's petition today. Flood situation in Bihar and Assam continues to remain grim. In Bihar, the flood-affected districts have risen to 11, and in Assam, the death toll due to floods has touched 102. Union Minister Jitendra Singh offers all possible flood assistance to Assam to restore infrastructure damages. Global COVID cases crossed over 1.64 crore with 6.52 lakh succumb to the illness worldwide. USA and Brazil continues to remain in the top affected countries with 43.7 lakh and 24.1 lakh confirmed cases respectively. Liverpool signs off Premier League winning season in style with a record 99 points. Manchester United and Chelsea secure their position for the next season of Champions League. Very good morning, I'm Abhishek Mahajan and let's start with our top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will today launch new COVID-19 testing facilities via a video conferencing. These facilities will ramp up testing capacity in India and help strengthen detection and treatment of the disease. 3 high-throughput testing facilities have been set up at the ICMR, National Institute of Cancer Prevention and Research at Noida, the ICMR National Institute for Research in Reproductive Health at Mumbai, and the ICMR National Institute of Cholera and Enteric Diseases at Kolkata. They will be able to test over 10,000 samples in a day, and these labs will reduce the turnaround time and exposure of lab personnel to infectious clinical materials. The labs are enabled to test diseases other than COVID-19 too, and they'll be able to test for hepatitis B and hepatitis C, HIV, Mycobacterium tuberculosis and dengue as well. Next story now, 82nd Central Reserve Police Force Raising Day is being celebrated today. To mark the occasion, Union Home Minister Amit Shah will address the personnel of the force posted across the country through a video link. Mega Raising Day events are not being held this year in view of the COVID-19 pandemic and physical distancing protocols. Besides being the peacemakers of the nation, CRPF has also been playing a prominent role in fighting COVID-19 pandemic. Political crisis still continues in Rajasthan. The Bahujan Samaj Party has issued a whip to 6 Rajasthan Assembly MLAs who had announced a merger with the ruling Congress party last year to vote against the Ashok Gehlot government in any proceedings of the House, including the no confidence motion. A signed communication by BSP General Secretary on July 26 says that all the 6 Rajasthan MLAs that were elected on the election symbol of BSP issued by its national president Mayawati are bound by a party whip to vote against the Congress government in the state. According to the statement, BSP is also planning to join the proceedings in the High Court challenging the legality of the merger. And also, the Supreme Court will today hear Rajasthan Speaker C.P. Joshi's appeal against the High Court order staying the disqualification proceedings against 19 Congress MLAs led by Sachin Pilot. The Speaker had moved the top court complaining that the High Court had no jurisdiction to ask him to defer the disqualification proceedings. In his petition, Joshi called the court order illegal, perverse and in derogation of the powers of the Speaker. Next story now. Several states across the country continue to grapple with heavy rainfall and floods, and the story of the floods is no different in Bihar. The number of flood-affected districts has increased to 11, and about 13 lakh people has been affected by the floods. The rivers Burhi Gandak, Bagmati, Kosi and Mahananda are still above the danger mark in Muzaffarpur, Samastipur, Rosra and Khagaria districts. NDRF and SDRF teams are conducting rescue and relief operations in the affected areas. The State Disaster Management Department said that 1,40,000 people have been evacuated from flood-affected areas so far. Dry ration packets are being dropped in the affected areas of Gopalganj, East Champaran and Darbhanga with the help of Air Force helicopters, while 442 community kitchens are being run, through which cooked food is being supplied to 1.75 lakh people. The Met Department has warned of light to moderate rainfall in the catchment areas of Nepal and heavy to very heavy rainfall areas connected to Gandak River. Well, to give us latest updates on this story, our correspondent Salman Haider is joining us live from Patna. Very good morning to you, Salman. And the number of flood-affected districts has increased to 11 now. And you tell us what is the current situation in Bihar?
Actually, some of the river Abhishek has started receding, but still Mahananda, Bagmati and Gandak are above the danger level. So as to say, they have crossed the highest flood level at 3 places. Abhishek, the latest flood fury has occurred in Saran district, where 5 blocks and 18 panchayats have become inundated in the flood deluge. And in all, 136,000 people, 1,36,000 people have been evacuated from the flood affected areas, and 26 relief camps are being run, where in 14,000 people are living. As far as community kitchens are concerned, 442 community kitchens are being run, where cooked food is being supplied to the 1.75 lakh people. So in all, almost 2 lakh population have been displaced from their home, and the SDRF and NDRF are conducting the rescue and relief operations. Mainly rescue operation is complete now, and only relief reaching to the people with relief is the main important portion. For this, 3 Air Force helicopters have been deployed. They are airdropping, as you said in your report, that in Gopalganj, Darbhanga and East Champaran districts, they are airdropping the food material, dry food, which is ready to eat, and other essential items like candle, salt and matchsticks. All these are being supplied, and meanwhile the Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall in catchment area of Narayani, and moderate to heavy rainfall in Gandak and Kosi catchment areas. Yeah,
Right. Right, the flood situation still remains grim in the state of Bihar, and NDRF and SDRF teams are doing the rescue operations, and it's on war footing. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Moving on to our next story. In Assam, the flood situation improved marginally. Assam Disaster Management Authority said that with 2 more deaths on Sunday, the death toll due to flood has touched 102. Nearly 25 lakh people are affected in 27 flood-affected districts. The floods triggered by heavy rains have inundated more than 2,265 villages in the state. Of the 27 affected districts, Golpara has been hit the worst, followed by Barpeta and Morigaon. A total of 47,772 people have taken shelter in 294 relief camps. The NDRF teams have so far rescued and evacuated around 2,600 people during the floods. And Union Minister of State Development of Northeastern Region, Dr. Jitendra Singh, on Sunday spoke to Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal on telephone and offered whatever possible flood assistance from the ministry to restore and repair infrastructure damages caused by incessant rains, floods and landslides. Dr. Jitendra Singh said that Northeastern Council, under the aegis of Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region, will extend whatever possible help for restoration and repair of damaged infrastructures in the wake of incessant rains and floods. He said the ministry will also coordinate financial and other help from other agencies of government and other sources. The Union Minister, I should say, said the central government is constantly monitoring the flood situation in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and other affected states in the northeast. Right, and our correspondent Mridu Smita will give us latest updates from Guwahati. Good morning, Mridu. Abhishek here. The flood situation has improved marginally in Assam, and big assistance from the centre for the flood affected people of Assam.
Yes, Abhishek, there has been talks from the centre that in fact yesterday the Union Minister had a call with the Chief Minister of Assam, as you already mentioned, and Chief Minister of Assam Sarbanand Sonowal, he had also urged the centre to in fact help in the reconstruction and renovation of the embankments here in Assam, because this more than 5,000 kilometers of embankments that have been made during 1950s, and it's very difficult to maintain such embankments, and hopefully new embankments will be made with assistance from the centre, so that better development of infrastructure is done in Assam, so that it can also help in the flood during the flood time. And since this is the fourth wave of flood, in fact, in the last few months, as this is the monsoon season, this would be the the fourth wave of flood, and people have there has been many damage due to the crossing area and infrastructure here in the state. And if I could also mention that though there has been a little drop in the rainfall that is happening since the past few days, but since in the Karbi Anglong Sea hydro project, the water was released from that, as the water was released from that project, because of which the water had come down to the lower region of Assam, because of which the water in various areas have been affecting the people, and more people are being affected, due to which and it has also added to the flood. And this is also a very depressing time, because the coronavirus pandemic is also there, and the NDRF and SDRF people, they are trying very hard to evacuate as many people and give them all possible relief materials. And in fact, the self-help groups are also in addition to the SDRF and SDRF people, they are also helping the people who are in need of various materials, not only the food materials. In fact, during this time, medicines are also required, and in fact, candles and trampoline, such things are required, because in order to maintain hygiene, such things are very much important during this time. And as mentioned by Mr. Modi yesterday in Man Ki Baat, to maintain hygiene during this time, which is very important, Abhishek.
Right, nearly 25 lakh people have been affected due to floods, and the situation has improved marginally in the state of Assam. Thank you, Mridu. Thanks for giving us those latest updates. Let's now take a look at COVID-19 updates from across the country. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has informed that as of today, 1,283 beds are still vacant in AIIMS, while in RML, Safdarjung and LHMC hospitals, 404 COVID beds are vacant. The availability of COVID beds in Delhi has been a proof of centre's effective intervention in managing COVID-19 situation in Delhi. India recorded highest number of recoveries in a single day, with 36,145 people recovering in the last 24 hours, pushing the recovery rate to 63.91%. This has taken the total number of recovered cases to 8,85,576, and the gap between recovered patients and active COVID-19 cases has further increased to over 4,17,000. The recovered cases are 1.89 times the active cases now, and for the first time, a total of 4,42,031 samples were tested in the country in a single day. The government lab set a new record of testing 3,62,153 samples, while private labs also scaled a new high by testing 79,878 samples in a single day. Moving further now, Tripura will go on a 3-day total lockdown from today to break the chain of spreading coronavirus. Addressing people in a televised speech, Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb said coronavirus cases are increasing in Tripura, mainly among people who came from outside the state and those who came in close contact with them. He therefore stressed that this lockdown is necessary to remain prepared. The Health Department will conduct a house-to-house survey and antigen test of suspected patients during the lockdown. Currently, Tripura has a fatality rate of 0.29%. And Karnataka government has issued guidelines for the upcoming festival of Bakri Eid. State government has prohibited mass offering of namaz on Eidgah grounds. The maximum of 50 people can offer Eid namaz inside mosque, and if more people gather, then they would be divided into 3 groups. However, except for mosque, no other places should be used for offering mass namaz. All those who attend namaz at mosque should wear face mask and must follow all social distancing measures. Thermal screening needs to be done before entering the mosque, while no one would be allowed to touch holy books in the mosque. Handshaking and embracing to greet will also not be allowed. The entry will be banned for people who are above the age of 60 years and also below the age of 10. So, guidelines by the Karnataka government. The India-Israel partnership is currently focused on combating the COVID-19 challenge, and even as it does, the larger agenda of cooperation continues to move forward. External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar on Sunday made the comments in a tweet after speaking to his Israeli counterpart Gabi Ashkenazi. On Friday, the Israeli embassy in India said Tel Aviv that has decided to send India this week a team of scientists working to develop a rapid testing kit for coronavirus. The Israeli team will work in the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi. According to a statement by the embassy, the testing of the first phase was already done in Israel, and the last stage will now be carried out in India for the testing kit which can give results within 30 seconds. And the External Affairs Minister also spoke to the Canada Foreign Minister. He underscored on working together with Canada on global challenges, and the two leaders also discussed the COVID-related cooperation. So, Anji Ghat Bridge, India's first cable-stayed rail bridge, the ambitious project of Indian Railways, is being constructed with superior technology and engineering excellence. Union Railway Minister Piyush Goyal has tweeted, and I quote, Indian Railways is going to build country's first cable-stayed rail bridge between Katra and Resi in Jammu and Kashmir. The cable-stayed railway bridge is a part of the Udhampur Srinagar Baramulla Rail Link project. It will strengthen the railway network in Jammu and Kashmir region and will play a vital role in the development of the state. In a tragic incident, ACP Traffic Sanket Kaushik died in a road accident while he was managing traffic near Rajokri flyover in Delhi. The corpse was rushed to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences where he was declared brought dead. According to the police, ACP Kaushik was on his way to a picket post when the speeding vehicle hit from behind. However, driver managed to flee from the scene of the accident. Meanwhile, police is checking CCTV footage of the cameras installed on the road to trace the number of vehicles which hit the ACP. And let's now take a look at global COVID updates. The coronavirus has claimed the lives of over 6.52 lakh people worldwide, while over 1.64 crore have contracted the infection so far. Over 1 crore people have recovered worldwide. The US and Brazil remain worst affected in terms of COVID-19 infections and fatalities. The US has so far recorded over 43.71 lakh cases and over 1.49 lakh deaths, while Brazil has crossed the 24 lakh mark and recorded over 24.19 lakh infections and over 87,000 deaths. Talking of death toll worldwide, US and Brazil are followed by UK with over 45,752 fatalities, further followed by Mexico and Italy. As pilgrims arrived for Hajj amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the Saudi Arabian authorities ordered a deep clean of Islam's holiest site in Makkah to minimize the risk of spread of the virus. This year, pilgrims from across the world have been barred for Hajj, and this is the first time in modern era when pilgrims from Saudi Arabia only, and that too 70% of whom are foreign residents in the kingdom, can go for the pilgrimage. So far, the virus has claimed more than 2,730 lives in the country, while the number of cases exceeds 2,66,940. Safety comes first for Anthony Hernandez, a kid in Ecuador who is seen donning his pet with face mask before wearing his own. The video has gone viral in Latin America social media community, commending the boy and his dog for setting a good example amid the pandemic. Number of coronavirus cases in Ecuador are more than 80,690, while the death toll stands around 5,515. In sports, Liverpool, who had won the English Premier League title after 30 years, defeated Newcastle by 3-0 in the last match of the EPL, thus ending this season scoring 99 points in the championship. Liverpool's Van Dijk, Divock Origi and Sadio Mane scored 1 goal each, while Newcastle's Dwight Gale scored the only goal for his side. Liverpool won 14 away matches this season, which is a new club record. And today is the death anniversary of former President APJ Abdul Kalam. Known as the Missile Man of India, Dr. Kalam passed away on this day in 2015 after suffering a cardiac arrest. INB Minister Prasar Bharati remembered Dr. Kalam and paid tributes to the former president on his death anniversary. Well, that's all we have in this news bulletin. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.